Hello there. I mean, no one's actually watching right now, but maybe some people will join me. Even if they don't, then obviously it's going to play back. So I'll go from the top. So I've been on a weight loss journey for the last 3 weeks. I'm using products from Swim Save, which is a total food replacement diet for me. It doesn't have to be. Some people do the same with other foods, with salads and vegetables, etc. But for me, because my weight loss needs to be quite extreme. So what I've done is I'm just going for total food replacement. So the way the Slim and Save products work, some of them are meals, and you make them so a pot noodle. You mix the sachet of powder with water, and it congeals and becomes like food stuff, and you eat it. There's others which are shakes, and you mix them up and drink them, like a milkshake, something like that. And then there's soups, which simply just mix with boiling water, stir them up, and drink them like you drink a cup of soup. So that's what I'm doing. It's a very, very low calorie diet. It's low carb, so it induces a ketotic state. So I'm currently in the states of ketosis, which encourages quite rapid weight loss. And thus I'm losing all the weight. I started off around about 185 kilograms, so 410 pounds, pushing 30 stone. And in the first 3 weeks, I've lost about 15, 16 kilograms, so good few stone, and I'm moving in the right direction. Please, folks. It took a couple of days, 3 or 4 days getting into ketosis, but once you're in ketosis, the weight does come off quite quickly. And that's what's been happening for me. And I'm happy with it. The first 3 or 4 days are the toughest. Really takes a while to adjust from eating a normal diet to essentially not eating any food and just eating powder with water. But you do acclimatize, and after 4 days, you probably get quite used to it. Now, my energy levels did reduce, particularly in the first few days, but now at times I feel quite renewed and the energy levels come back. So it's definitely worth sticking at, and that's working well for me. So how did I get to this place in the first place? So as a kid, I was a bit tubby. I was like sports day. Me and one of my friends were always competing, like who wouldn't come last. And then both of our mothers would say, no, Steve-O was last, and Steve-O's mother would say, no, you beat. And that was it. Yeah, I got to school. I was quite a good sportsman, but no speed whatsoever. No speed and not a lot of stamina. But, I was all right. Actually, through the later part of school, once I left school, because I had a really useless PE teacher who just seen me as like a bit of a tubby fat kid and didn't put any attention into me. It's kind of ironic, really. I should have been the one he was working on. But hey, there you go. But then I started playing hockey at school, got quite good at it, and played quite a decent standard of hockey down in London for a few years as a goalkeeper, not unsurprisingly. But yeah, I was pretty good at hockey. And so always a little bit overweight though. But as I went through university and then through my early 20s, I was kind of seen as the fat guy, and it kind of was a self-fulfilling prophecy. So people are telling you you're overweight, you're fat. I didn't really feel it that much. Just start to believe it, and then you go, oh, well, there's no point eating healthy, I'm fat anyway. And it doesn't sound like a normal mindset, probably to most people, but it's kind of the way that binge eating starts, and why people often grow to be morbidly obese. It's factors in your life which just mean that you don't take care of yourself as much as you should. You let yourself go. And once you're into the trap on fat anyway, well, what difference is it making a bit fatter? And that becomes a spiral. And you get up in that spiral, and it kind of spiral of descent, and you descend into binge eating, sometimes into drinking too much. So it's like not like I had a problem with alcohol. I once I really had a problem with alcohol, but I do everything to excess. So if I'm eating, I eat too much. If I'm drinking, I drink too much. And my issue with alcohol isn't so much the dependence, it's the fact that it leads me to gaining a lot of calories. And alcohol, like any fizzy drinks, it's just wasted calories. So part of this diet, the last 3 weeks, I haven't touched any alcohol at all. I could do other diets and I could try to reduce my intake. I could drink different things. But for me, the best way forward is just not drink alcohol. And similarly with the food, that's why I've opted for the total food replacement, because I know I've got issues with food. So if I cut it out completely, maybe I can learn to change my behavior. Because I know if I go for salads, it starts off quite well. I can do it. I can have like maybe a little bit of lettuce, bit of that, and wait and do it properly. But I gradually start putting a little bit extra here and there. So total food replacement keeps me on track. It's not for everyone. And I know there are issues with it, and I know it's going to be difficult to maintain any weight loss if I am successful, but it's something I've got to try. So when I think back on what led me to gain weight, and you can get back to childhood and all these sorts of factors, you can try to blame everyone else. But I think one time I remember, particularly in my life, which, I don't know, in retrospect, it could be a dark period, I call it. I don't know what I call it. But I did talk to people at the time, clinical people at the hospital, had a bit of counselling, I guess, talking through my issues. Because what I found was I'd get up to go to work, wouldn't have breakfast at home. But on my way to work, and so I was working in England, I was stopping at McDonald's, and I'd get sausage and egg McMuffin, bacon egg McMuffin, hash browns, 2 or 3, and I'd stop them in the car park and no one was aware of what I was doing. And that would happen nearly every day. And then on the way home, I'd often stop for crisps, chocolate, and all sorts of nonsense from the corner shop or from the filling station. And I'd pull into a lay-by, pull off the road, and I'd just stop them, get home, still have my tea. No one was aware. But yeah, that was the spiral. So obviously I gained a lot of weight. And it was out of control for a while. I got it back under control. In fact, did one of these very low calorie diets before, about 10 years ago, and I shed about half my body weight. Got down to a good weight, 120 kgs, something like that. I was actually able to cycle. I used to train every day, and eventually I did a 350-kilometer cycle ride through sub-Saharan Africa, starting off in Zimbabwe, cycling through to Botswana, through Namibia, into Zambia, and finishing off in Livingstone, Zambia. And that took 5 or 6 days. I'm doing about 60, 70 k's every day, cycling through game parks. It's fantastic. Yeah, it really was. But I can't do that now. Obviously, I can't do that now. So, but I know it's achievable. Also, last time I lost weight, I found going out running occasionally and didn't get out of breath, and I enjoyed it. But then, disappointment comes. Some people reach for alcohol. Some people smoke cigarettes. Some people take drugs. Some people are adrenaline junkies and do positive things. But for me, it's the binge eating. So that's what I'm trying to cut out and just get this lifestyle change, lifestyle complete alteration by not eating fatty foods, high calorie foods, foods which are high carbohydrates, so thus I can try to have a complete kind of change of habit. So, say after a certain amount of time, maybe 14 days or something, that a behavior can become a habit. So I'm trying to make this sort of healthy eating habit, but I know people can say it's not really healthy eating because you're cheating. Yeah, I could say, is it cheating? It's a leg up. It gets me started. It gives me a boost. And what I've seen in 3 weeks is that I probably lost about 10% of my body weight, and that's fantastic. I've lost in kilos about the weight of my 5-year-old son. That's good going. Just got to keep that up. And then later on, people, we're going to do about the loose skin on. Yeah, I'm still 26 stone, 27 stone, whatever. Let's worry about that when I maybe get down to 13 stone. Then worry about that. What are you going to do when you try to reintroduce food because you're using total food replacement? Again, let's worry about that when I get to it. Others will say, and rightly so, and I don't disagree, maybe it can do some damage to your kidney. My pulse rate's been very low at night. There's reasons for that, perhaps. But are you taking risks? Being the best part of 30 stone is the biggest risk. The risk that it's putting on my body, putting on my heart, I've got to sort it out. So that's the biggest danger, is being overweight. So I'm taking risks, yes. I've suffered with gallstones before, and I may get gallstones if I do extreme weight loss, but hopefully that's more treatable than the other outcomes which arise if I don't get my head in gear and sort this out. So that's why I'm doing this extreme sort of diet. It's not for everybody. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but for some people like me, it probably could be the one that works. And what's great is if you are tempted by alcohol, is with this diet, it's actually, once you're into ketosis state, it's kind of quite dangerous to actually drink alcohol. So I don't, and I don't want to take the risk. So it keeps me away from some of the extreme calories. Motivation, I've talked about this in other videos, but my motivation is partly self. I kind of like life. I enjoy it. I'm good at my job. I enjoy it. I work with kids. I'm a head of school, various heads of secondary and various international schools. Don't know where I'm going to be in September. I'm between jobs right now, but I'm happy enough in work. I mean, I like leisure time like everyone, but I'm happy in work. So I want to live longer. I want to live longer because I'm good at what I do, and I'm a good guy, and I'm a good positive role model for many people. So I'm probably better off on this planet for now. So for me, I want to do it. Then I want to do it for my wife and children. So my wife's a good few years younger than me, and we have 3 young children. We have one who is 5, one who is 2, and one is about to turn 10 months. Now, I owe it to them. I brought them into the world. I owe it to them to be around, and I owe it to myself to see them grow up and to be there to support them and to love them. And I want to see them do all the things that I should be there for, off to school, off to high school, then graduating from university, hopefully, or do anyway, whatever they love. I'm not going to say they need to go to university, but whatever they want to do, what brings them fulfillment. I want to see it. Maybe even get married and maybe have a grandchild, but that's going to push me into my late 70s. So I'm not sure. Both my parents are still alive. They're both in their mid-late 70s. So genetically, there's a good chance that I live a good long life. But my behavior through binge eating and not looking after myself for a number of years may affect that. But, it's like doing that smoking. The lungs regenerate themselves. Perhaps my body can regenerate itself. Some will say, you should be doing a lot of exercise. Well, please, that's important. Yes, it is. It's been difficult because you get to a stage where even the most basic exercise is hard work. But even in 3 weeks, going up and down the stairs, which could have left me out of breath, doesn't now. And it's not such a chore. So it's a minor little victories. Maybe within another month, 2 months, I'll be able to do some more vigorous exercise. Right now, going out with the kids, going for a walk in the park, playing with the kids, gentle exercise is all right, bit of lifting, but gently, because this is a long-term project. I'm not trying to achieve or to change my life overnight. I'm trying to change it so that it changes for the rest of my life. And it may mean that I never go back to ever drinking alcohol. That's a possibility, but I don't know. And I doubt I'll ever eat from McDonald's again. Luckily, I quit eating meat 4.5 years ago. So in terms of some of the rubbish I used to eat, I'm not interested in now because I've cut out that aspect of my diet. So when I go back to eating, I don't think I'll stay vegan because the diet I'm on now is vegan, but vegetarian, almost certainly. Potentially pescatarian, not sure. In fact, when I gave up animal products, it wasn't necessarily for health reasons, and it wasn't because of any particular love of animals. I mean, I love animals, but that wasn't my real drive. My real drive was environmental reasons, because of the damage that animal agriculture does and the cause of climate change. So that was my drive. So, if I look at what's going on in the oceans, that probably should drive me to give up fish. But, we'll see. Again, it's a bridge I don't have to worry about probably until 2022. So I need to be doing this for 6-9 months, maybe a year, before I really see a huge difference. So I guess finally, as thing to say is thank you to all the people who've left really positive comments and really good feedback that I keep getting on Instagram, on TikTok. The YouTube channel is a bit slow to get started, so but it's getting there. I've got more people watching what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to try to focus more on education as well, positive body image, just to offer support to other people on the same journey and not do it retrospectively. It's very easy. It's not easy, but it's easier to lose loads of weight and then start talking about what you did. I'm trying to do it in real time because then people can learn from the journey and they can see what the highs and lows are and the difficulties and joys. If you do it retrospectively, probably get rose-tinted spectacles and not realise how tough it was at the time. But fair play to all those who do it that way. For me, it's taken a lot of courage to go live doing this. I don't know who's going to watch it. Work in education, potentially people I teach, get a bit of ribbing. I've had a little bit of trolling already, but I'm open for it. Got thick skin. Probably looks like fat, thick skin as well. But yeah, I've got to take it. I'll try not to provoke people. I'll try not to wind people up. And 99% of people have been fantastic so far. So it's a journey and I'll keep on it and I'll do some regular updates. I'll probably let you know when I'm going live next time. In the meantime, if you watch this on the playback, I think these guys who do this thing properly is about subscribing down there. So subscribe to my channel so you do see my content. Give this a like so other people see it and perhaps also decide to watch. Be most grateful if you did, because there's no point doing this if no one's watching it. So that's it for today. So thank you for anyone who does watch this on playback and have a good day.